Welcome to Tokyosaurus. So what's up in Japan? Recently, in an interview by The Verge with the director of Breath of the Wild, the newest Zelda game for the Nintendo Switch, he told us that they designed the game map based on his hometown Kyoto in Japan. He said that when he first started to look at this game, he had Link walk around on an empty field to try to map out and get a feel of the distance and where landmarks should be. He used this hometown Kyoto as a reference and overlaid it onto the game world directly and tried to imagine going to places he knows in Kyoto. If it takes this much time to get from here to there, how does it translate into the game? That is how he began to create the largest static map in the history of gaming thus far. I'm sure you've heard of the news or seen comparison pictures as to just how big Breath of the Wild's explorable map is. Like, we used to think Skyrim was massive, but this is on a whole new level. And now we know where the inspiration comes from. For those of you who haven't been to Kyoto, it is quite compact and you feel like you can walk everywhere. And if you're just a little lazy, you can take the bus and get to most parts of the city pretty easily. There are tons of temples and shrines around, just like The Legend of Zelda, so Kyoto is actually a perfect reference for a game like Zelda. The Nintendo headquarters is also located in Kyoto, so the entire staff was extremely familiar with the reference material while making the game, as everyone knew all the places in real life as it was part of their everyday life. Everyone knows how much time it'll take to get from one landmark to the next, so this saved them a lot of time in the design process. Obviously, as Hyrule is not Kyoto, they aren't just going to take it and remake Kyoto in the game, so the game map is not identical as some would expect. But you can definitely see some similarities with the real Kyoto, like how there's a central downtown area that is surrounded by rivers, which holds the Imperial Palace, and around it would be many shrines and temples that you can explore. The Nintendo Switch has already sold 330,000 copies in just the first 3 days alone, and this is in Japan only and not international. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, on the other hand, has sold 190,000 copies, which means almost 60% of the people who bought the Switch so far in Japan got it to play Zelda. I actually expected the number to be a little bit higher, as there are only a few games out so far, but I suspect a good chunk of those people in the remaining 40% probably forgot to pre-order Zelda or is just waiting for a copy to come. Although there are some hardware issues that people have been reporting, from screen flickering to random crashes or Joy-Con connectivity issues, remember that this has mostly affected a very small amount of users and is not something that is affecting everyone who bought one. But anyways, how many of you have bought a Nintendo Switch and tried out the new Zelda? And if you didn't, why didn't you? As usual, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to follow Tokyosaurus on social media for Japanese culture tweets and video updates. And if you haven't subscribed already, subscribe and you will get the latest things people are talking about in Japan right in your inbox. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.